How are you? Good.
In a city built on steel, Mark Carney playing defense.
Yeah, thank you.
Trying to hold on to one of the closest ridings in the country.
We will stand with every single Canadian worker targeted by President Trump's attacks on our country.
Carney attempting to sell himself as the best person to defend Canada against the U.S. steel tariffs, as Sault Ste. Marie's largest employer, Algoma, says they're already losing millions of dollars a month.
We're being impacted by the U.S. tariffs on steel to the U.S. 50% of our customer base is in the U.S.
Global News seat projections has the Sioux as a toss-up between the Liberals and Conservatives, just like it was in 2021, when the Liberals won by only 247 votes.
He wants the tax to go higher on Canadian steel.
Leading Pierre Poilievre to head there in the third week of the campaign. But unlike Carney, he didn't voluntarily bring up U.S. tariffs, instead blaming the Liberal leader for any steel troubles.
If this Liberal industrial carbon tax is allowed to go ahead, there will be no Algoma, there will be no Stelco, there will be no Dofasco.
In the final week of the campaign, it's work hard, play hard, with Carney picking up pizzas before heading to tight ridings in the Greater Toronto area, building a time capsule with school kids.
We have a new leader.
The Liberals also calling on a party legend to campaign, who thinks Carney has the election in the bag.
6 months ago, I was afraid to have to buy flowers for the funeral of the Liberal Party. Now we use them for the celebration on Tuesday morning.
Both main party leaders' visits to the Sioux emblematic of the message of their campaigns. Colleen Poilievre trying to avoid discussing Trump and putting all the blame on the Liberals. Carney running away from Justin Trudeau's record and trying to make the ballot question about the Americans.
Mackenzie Gray in Vaughan, Ontario. Thanks, Mackenzie.
Sirach 13, verse 6, and it reads, If he have need of thee, he will deceive thee, and smile upon thee, and put thee in hope. He will speak thee fair, and say, What wantest thou? All praises, all power, all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, who teach one rule well, who taught me this truth. Peace and salutation to the Akyam, fellow laborers, the hopeful elect, pushing this truth at risk of the own lives to the four corners of the earth. To the Akwath, listening, learning, sincerity, and the truth, and the sana, shalom. Akyam, meaning brothers, Akwath, meaning sisters, shalom, meaning peace, be unto you. It's your brother Shema, with the GMS Toronto camp here in Toronto, here with another lesson. And we get right into it. Right, and by now, the election has passed up here in Canada. But what inspired this lesson was today, when I was out there on the Daily Bread, I was parked up close to a poll station. I was watching all these I was watching all kinds of people, grown adults, different nations of people making their way in to the poll station where I was parked up, right? And immediately I thought of the scripture, two horns like a lamb, and I was like, look at these people, trusting in the shadow of Egypt, man. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, it's not who's elected, it's who's selected. And who selected? These ruling class elites select a leader to fulfill their agenda. And what is their agenda? The NWO, man, right? The New World Order. And all roads lead to the MOTB, right? Whoever comes in, it says here, this was updated 16 minutes ago, Carney's Liberals win Canada election. Unclear if they have majority CTV. Unclear if they have majority. CTV and CBC say. Carney's Liberals win Canada election, will form minority government. All right, so they want a minority, according to these news reports, right? But they all have one goal, right? And it's to push this beast system, right? Nothing they say is the truth. They are liars, Right, let's read the opening scripture again. Sirach 13:6. If he have need of thee, he will deceive thee. Right? These politicians, man. What were they in need of in the campaign? You saw them there picking up pizzas. Get the fuck out of here, man. Picking up pizzas, man. Yo, 2025. If Jake's believing, Jake's voting, thinking there's going to be change, they're duped. They're drunk with Babylonian wine, man. Right? Says here, Sirach 13:6, if he have need of thee, he will deceive thee, these politicians, and smile upon thee, right? They'll campaign, they'll kiss babies, they'll buy pizzas, they'll sit there and do photo ops with hard hats, construction workers in hard hats, right? And put thee in hope. Yeah, we're going to eliminate this tax, we're going to eliminate that, right? Because they need your votes, man, right? But it's a selection, it's not an election. Whoever the elites want in, that's who's gonna go in. Whoever's gonna fulfill their will, that's who goes in. That's who comes in, man. He will speak thee fair and say, what wantest thou? Right? And it's all a psyop, it's all an act. Right? These elites, these politicians that we see on television, they're actors. Right? They're actors. Listen. Famine's coming to this place, right? Great food insecurity, great troubles is coming to this place, man. More joblessness is coming to this place. Right? It's going to get real dark, right? Because they're going to bring this NWO come hell or high water. That's the agenda. And ultimately, it's the will of the Lord. The Lord said it's going to happen, so it's going to happen. Right? The Lord said there's going to be a grain and rice, Revelation 13, verse 16 on down. The MOTB is going to happen. The Lord said there's going to be famines and pestilence and rumors of war and great death is going to happen. Revelation 13 and 11. And I beheld another beast. Right, this is a vision of John the Revelator. Right, this beast he's seeing, this vision. America the Great, Babylon the Great, NATO the EU. Coming up out of the earth. And he had two horns like a lamb, right? The two horns is symbolic of his political parties, right? Remember, America is birthed from Rome. Rome is the first kingdom to have a rulership based on a Senate, Congress, a Caesar, which is a president or prime minister, right? The ancient Roman Empire had two political parties. Right, the plebeians and the patricians, right? And what's that likened to today? These Rome 2.0 has got the left, the right, the red, the blue, the liberals, the conservatives up here in Canada. In America, it's the Democrats and Republicans. The UK, it's the Labour Party and the Conservatives. Right? So let me get that real quick. Because Rome was the first to do it. Have a Senate, a Congress. That's in the Maccabees, first Maccabees. First Maccabees 8. Verse 11, it was told him besides how they destroyed and brought under their dominion all other kingdoms and isles that at any time resisted them. Right, and this is talking about the Roman Empire. Right, you read Daniel 7. Daniel 7 and 11. Daniel 7:7. And it reads, after this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, right? The Roman Empire, right? Because there's four beasts during the vision of Daniel in Daniel chapter 7. The first beast being the Babylonian Empire, the second beast being the Medo-Persian, the third beast being the Greeks, the fourth being the Romans. Dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth, right? The Roman Empire utilized iron. Their weapons, right? They mastered the art of iron, the use of iron. It was that their armies, their military used iron weapons. It devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns, right? It was diverse from the beasts before it, right? 10 horns, the 10 common markets, which would later become the European Union, right? But let's look at this word diverse. Strong's H8133.
Strong's H8133. Shana. Shana.
To change, be altered, be changed. To change, be changed. To change, transform. Frustrate, different. To be changed. To change, to alter. Right? Change, diverse. Right? And what made this beast different? Prior to the Roman Empire, beasts were the kingdoms were monarchies, right? First Maccabees 8 verse 11, verse 12. But with their friends and such as relied upon them, they kept amity, and that they had conquered kingdoms both far and nigh, insomuch as all that heard of their name were afraid of them. Right, the Roman Empire, man, was it was get down or lie down, man. There was no they couldn't be tested at the height of their power. Verse 13. Also that whom they would help to a kingdom, those reign, and whom again they displace. Finally, that they were greatly exalted. Yet for all this, none of them wore a crown or was clothed in purple. Right? They weren't a monarchy. They didn't. There wasn't a succession of thrones. Yet for all this, none of them wore a crown or was clothed in purple to be magnified thereby. Moreover, how they had made for themselves a senate. You see that? A senate house, right? Congress, House of Parliament, right? The Romans were the first to do this. With 320 men sat in council daily, consulting always for the people to the end they might be well ordered, right? Their government was set up in a way like we see Rome 2.0, America the Great. They have Congress, they have a Senate House, they vote to pass bills, right? And that they committed their government to one man every year, right? They had an election. Votes. One man who was a Caesar in Rome, today president, prime minister, who ruled over all their country, and that all were obedient to that one, and that there was neither envy nor emulation among them, right? And Rome 2.0, America the Great. This is that great beast that had two horns like a lamb and spake as a dragon. Let's go back there. Revelation 11. Right, listen. Revelation 13 and 11. All roads lead to the MOTB, man. We're in beautiful times. This is all prophecy. Right? Listen, Canada's birth from the UK, man. America's birth from the UK. Revelation 13 and 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, political parties, left, right, blue, red, Democrat, Republic, right? Horns like a lamb, right? This devil comes softly. This devil uses honey instead of vinegar. And he spake as a dragon. He spake as a dragon. You look in this word dragon, the root word in the Greek, dragon is drakon. Right? And this devil is about to get real draconian, right? Because the famine of the word is coming. Censorship is coming. War on the scripture say he was wroth. The dragon was wroth with the woman. That's in Revelation 12. Revelation 12 and 17, it reads, and the dragon, right? Dragon, the Roman Empire, Esau, Edom, the elites, was wroth with the woman being the Israelites, beginning with the elect, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, the elect, right? And this is going to be the persecution, which keep the commandments of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. The elect are keeping the commandments, right? This is going into the persecution. A great persecution is going to come down on the Israelites, beginning with the elect, and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai and Mashiach, right? And who has the testimony of Yahweh Shai and Mashiach? The elect. And what is the testimony of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai? What is the testimony of Yahweh Shai and Mashiach? The spirit of prophecy. Right? Let's go back into the meaning. Dracon. Strong's G1404. A dragon, a great serpent, a name for Shatan in the Strong's. From an alternate form of Dirkomei, fabulous kind of serpent, perhaps as opposed to fascinating dragon, right? But this word dracon is the root word for draconian, right? So this devil's about to get real up close and personal, man. He's gonna show his horns. Draconian, in the online etymology, 1759, of or pertaining to Draco, the ancient Greek statesman, in reference to laws, rigorous, extremely severe or harsh, earlier draconic, which is implied from 1640s. Draco is the Latinized form of the Greek word drakon, right? Name of the Archon of Athens, who laid down a code of laws for Athens that mandated death as punishment for minor crimes. His name seems to mean literally sharp-sighted sea dragon, right? So listen, man, this devil, it doesn't matter who's in power, man, right? It doesn't matter who's in power. They have one agreed upon agenda. It doesn't matter, right? Things gonna get real dark out here, man. So with that, call Allah Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and teach one rule well. Shalom to the elect.